Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Nerd Herders. My name is Nick.
I'm Rich.
And today we're talking Nintendo.
I'm shocked. I feel like this is our new Star Wars right now. Like every week we have something else to report on it.
But we don't know whether or not we should be excited about it.
It's
We're going to
true.
let you know if we are excited about it. I don't know. So we found out a pretty big rumor today. Well, not today, but we're going to talk about it today. This past week. About the NX, the new console that is supposed to debut early next year, and we still know nothing official about.
Yeah.
There's been lots of rumors about the system for years since it was first announced.
I'm pulling up the
this
story.
newest one seems like the most credible bit of information about what the system is to come. And you're going to pull it up. Basically, the rundown of what we learned is it's going to be a portable console with a TV input that is not as powerful as the current PlayStation 4.
So, speculation then is it will be somewhere between Wii U and Xbox One, kind of where it'll sit. So, the report was originally broken by Eurogamer. I'm reading the IGN one because that app was on my phone and it was a lot quicker to get to. Details appear to have leaked about the upcoming Nintendo NX console, saying that it is a high-powered handheld which can plug into a TV docking station, featuring 2 detachable controllers, will use cartridges, and is less powerful than current-gen hardware. Eurogamer, which has confirmed this with a number of their sources, and I think IGN's confirmed it with some of theirs as well.
It seems very legit.
So Nintendo's pitch is simple, that you can take your games on the go with you, take with you on the go, end quote. That's borne out by the report design, a high-powered handheld. Controls are either attached to either side and can be detached as 2 smaller controllers for use in local multiplayer. IGN has verified this information with separate sources. According to Eurogamer, the central processing will be handled in the handheld itself with a TV docking station into which the console can be plugged, seemingly providing only an external display and not the extra processing power that has been rumored for some time. It goes into some a little more technical stuff about it. But the one mock-up I saw was similar to... I don't know if this was what somebody was assuming it would look like or if they had this image from somewhere, but it looked sort of like that patent that came out a little while ago. It was like the TV, it had the screen and the controllers on the side, and it was that, and then you had the screen then like on like a table, and then the 2 pieces of the controller from both sides. So it looks like it's a screen that can have the controllers plugged in and taken out.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I love the idea of being able to truly take your console experience on the go. We've gotten close with some of the 3DS games.
Yeah.
We definitely got close with the Vita. But it's never actually been there. That's exciting.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I'm on the fence about.
Okay.
I don't love the idea that Nintendo is going to release something less powerful than what we currently have in the same calendar year that both the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 are presumably going to take massive leaps forward with the Neo and the Scorpio. It seems to me like that is very much putting them almost in the same place that they were in with the Wii U compared to the PS4 and the Xbox One. Or even, honestly, the Wii U compared to 360 and PS3. It just seems like they're immediately going to be behind the curve in a significant way.
It's possible. The way I look at it, I'm very interested in this. If this is true, I would be 100% on board day one if this is the console that's coming out. Because one of the things that they said at E3 when they showed Zelda Breath of the Wild is that your experience will be the same on NX as it is on Wii U. So if what that's saying to us is that what we saw out of E3 is what it's going to look like when I take this game on the go with me, I'm going to get a full-fledged 3D open-world Zelda game on the go Something that massive.
You have that though.
Kind of.
You can play,
not
you
to
can
that
play,
extent.
No, you can play Majora's Mask. You can play Ocarina of Time. Those are
But-
probably at the end of the day, unless they really freaking blow us away with this new game, Ocarina of Time is still going to be a better game. Likely, it's possible. But I mean,
Better game or not,
Okay.
this is a much bigger game.
you know what's
than
fun?
Ocarina.
Playing those two games on the handheld. Still gonna just play them on my console in the first
Sure.
place. I want to play them on a TV in the biggest possible way before I'd want to play something that massive on the go. That's cool, and it makes sense that it's going to be the same experience that you get on the Wii U because it's the same game. But it's the new games that
Sure.
I'm hoping are more impressive than what we were able to do
Sure.
with the Wii U, and maybe they won't be able to. Maybe it's going to be the Wii U, but on the go.
Maybe, but we also had in like the NES days, the SNES days, where they would add extra chips and things into the cartridges that would allow them to do stuff that you couldn't do on the console. So maybe if by going with cartridges, they're not totally limited by that power. It's like, okay, well, we need some extra juice. Well, maybe we can put something else in this cartridge and have it run better, whatever.
Maybe.
I'm not a tech guy, but they did stuff like that for the sound chip and this thing and that thing to run extra processes going on.
Possible. It's interesting. I mean, it'll be very cool to be able to take your game and apparently your save on
Yeah.
the go and all of that. Like, it's going to be neat. It's definitely going to be cool. For the most part, unless I'm going on a trip or something, I don't know when I would I'm not just going to go outside to play the game. When I have a
sure, but
really nice 50 whatever inch
say
TV.
you start Zelda before work one day. You're like, oh man, like I'm really having. I can just throw it in my bag. You can throw it in your bag and play it on lunch. You get an hour. You can hang out and you can play with a bit of
Sure,
Zelda.
yeah, that'll be great. But I mean, if you thought there was a potential issue of people wanting to steal your Game Boy,
Well,
or
sure.
somebody wants to steal your console that you're just holding on the subway. But okay, the other thing that I would say about this as a potential drawback, what about this convinces third parties to indeed fully support them? Think about the amount of games that come out nowadays that need to be connected to the internet to work.
Sure.
Those games won't work on this.
They will as long
They
as
will when you're in home.
or
But
any
the-
Wi-Fi connection. The same way that the Vita does.
Will they?
Why wouldn't they?
Would the Division really work on the UCF Wi-Fi?
Probably not. But there's people who live on campus and have to use UCF Wi-Fi for the Division.
God bless them. But I mean, but you know what I mean? But that's not my point.
Sure.
You're taking it from your home to a place.
But I don't.
Are you going to be able to use it on the McDonald's Wi-Fi? You know what I'm saying?
But I don't see.
And so then
For-
that
for-
game, or something like it, a massive experience like that, is going to be less inclined to even go to that system because of those limitations when that is the main selling
But
point of it.
this brings up the same thing about the Wii had, where it was like, well, who Call of Duty's would come out for Wii, and it's like, who's really playing Call of Duty on the Wii?
Right.
They're not.
Right.
The third-party support though would come in from stuff like in the GameCube days where they had like Beautiful Joe and like weird shit like that, where they're
But
developing games specifically for.
But will they? That's what I'm saying. Because if they don't,
Mhm.
and if the AAA experiences do not come to this, then still my biggest fear with the NX being something that the general public doesn't adopt and then we lose Nintendo.
Sure.
I don't want that to happen. And something that is behind the curve seems less likely to get those experiences.
But Nintendo's
and
been-
even if it does get them, less likely for those games to sell well enough out of the gate for them to continue doing it. Will it happen at the start? Sure. But if they don't... I mean, if you could buy the same game on the NX as you can on Scorpio, if you get that, which is 4 times more powerful or whatever than a current
6
PS4.
teraflops.
Would you ever get it on the NX instead of getting it on
No, but it's the same thing as.
And then the business goes down.
Sure. But I think what this will end up doing is this really does unify their both libraries, their 3DS library and their Wii U or their console, their handheld and their console library, which has
Which
been
is really
part of
cool
the
for
issue.
us. It's really cool for us, but the selling point of being able to take your console on the go, what is the closest example to that situation that we already have?
The Vita.
And how did that do?
It did awfully, but it was beaten by the 3DS.
Yeah. I mean, it was beaten by mobile.
Sure.
I don't know.
And then,
my biggest thing is I think this sounds great for Nintendo fans. I
Mhm.
don't know if it's going to get people that weren't already on board anyway. And then I would hate to see Nintendo go away.
I think it'll depend on price point.
Yeah, that'll be interesting.
Price point and quality. As long as if this has the quality of something like the Vita versus the gamepad, but still has a reason, $200 to $300 price point, I could see this doing really well. It's like, hey, you remember how you've always wanted to play Pokemon on your TV? Well, now here's Sun and Moon for the NX. Now you can play it on the go and you can play it on your TV. Here's that huge
Are we
open
so
world.
sure that they're going to stop the 3DS?
We're not. They haven't said anything about that. But
Because that... God damn, it's going to be deceptive of them to really push Sun and Moon to all these new Pokemon Go players to then have that kind of be the swan song of the 3DS.
I have a feeling it probably will be the swan song of the 3DS.
Then they shouldn't try and...
Because if they're... I mean, or they'll be putting them out on both. They'll give the 3DS another year out and start, it's on NX and it's on 3DS. I could see them doing that as well.
Interesting days ahead. But what this comes back to is the thing we have been asking for months whenever we talk about NX rumors. Tell us something for real, Nintendo.
Well, that's the next rumor, is we're supposed to hear in September. Sources now are sort of pointing to hearing about it in September. Which is, I think, Gamescom?
Sounds
GDC?
right. I think Gamescom is first.
I don't remember. Let me see if the article mentions
9/11. They could do it then.
Yeah.
Nintendo just really can't. They can't muck around on this one.
Sure.
They got to do it right. They have to, because we're recording this on a day where it turned out that like their profits dropped.
Yeah, there was a lot of
significantly.
Nintendo.
The profit, their stocks went way down from the high that they were at over Pokemon Go yesterday because people realized that they don't make it. I don't understand that. I don't understand how.
Because people are idiots and don't actually pay attention.
So I mean, we'll see. We'll see. I just don't want them to go away.
So here's the drawing I was telling you about.
Interesting.
But like you take your, I imagine they'll probably port Smash. They'll probably port Mario Maker. Maybe they'll port Mario Kart, taking like a full-fledged high-def Mario Kart with you on the go, or a Smash Brothers. Which we had on 3DS, but then it was like, oh, well, I'm playing it on the 3DS and I'm building up my stuff there. Also playing it on my Wii U, and they're two separate things, and now you have one unified.
It could be really. I mean, it's going to be very cool for Nintendo fans. There's no way around that. But
will it catch?
I'm
excited.
public?
If this is what it is, I'm in 100%.
It sounds very cool. I hope it lasts.
Mm.
And I hope that they do tell us as soon as September for sure what this is, especially if this is true. Because if this is true, get your junk together and hold a conference.
They need to start letting people know about this thing now.
For sure. So, what do you think of the Nintendo NX? What do you think of these rumors? Do you want to take your console on the go? Did you not get a Wii U? Will this make you get one? Not one, but get
the
back
next
with
Nintendo console.
Let us know. You can tweet at me. I'm at Stonks.
I'm at Rich Belson. The channel's on Twitter at OABeer_official, and you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/overabeer, Instagram over_a_beer, and of course right here at youtube.com/overabeer. On Fridays at soundcloud.com/overbeer, and on iTunes we do the Overbeer podcast. It's Nick, myself, and Dana who will be on a couple segments the next couple days, talking about random off-topic bullshit, so you can check that out. And if you have ever any topics or things that you would like us to see covered on this show or the podcast or anything like that, you can go ahead and email us as well at overabeerofficial@gmail.com. That will wrap things up for today, though. So until next time, drink up
And butter me up.